Your thoughts on the game, how it kind of got away from you?
Well, you know, obviously, South Carolina played a great game. They took us out a lot of our stuff offensively, being real physical, denying on the wings, using their length and athleticism to be disruptive. So they took us out of a lot. You know, the second half was pretty even. I mean, but being down 17 points in the first half, I thought they disrupted our offense, pushed us out, used their length, and we forced us into some tough shots. You know, and then defensively, you know, I thought we broke down. We weren't as connected as we needed to be. You know, we hang our hat on defense, and so, you know, to hold them to 32 points or 36 points in the second half, you know, I thought if we put two good halves together, that game would have been completely different. But got to give them credit. They were a better team today, obviously. You know, played a better brand of basketball and took us out a lot of our stuff.
Can this kind of be a segue into Wake Forest now, the step up in class? You know,
Yeah, you know, I mean, it ain't necessarily a segue into the next game. It's just we learn.
Yeah.
All right, there's some stuff we need to improve. There's some stuff we need to tighten up. So I'm more concerned about, you know, how do we grow? How do we continue to pursue the best version of ourselves? You know, we've had ups and downs already this year. Really good ups and really bad downs, right? So it's a journey. It's a season. We got a very capable group, but we got work to do.
When teams are playing defensively like they were, how do you not let frustration set in? Because defensively, like you said, you played well, but how do they not get frustrated on offense?
Well, I mean, I thought, you know, again, they got us in the late clock a lot. You know, and so obviously we wanted to try to get to the paint in the late clock. We had a couple actions there late, but they were so aggressive denying and knocking the ball loose. So they were disruptive, you know, and again, I got to give them credit. They did what they needed to do in terms of the way they defended us. They took some stuff away, and we got to learn from it and figure out how, if we run into a situation like that again, how we can be better.
Coach, exactly a week ago, you guys beat a very good Boise State team to win a championship. Now you're coming off two very tough home losses. How do you sort of explain the discrepancy there?
You know, I'm not sure. You know, obviously, again, I know we got a good team. I put a lot on these guys with the schedule. Obviously, the games over in Cayman, coming back, you know, playing the game pretty quickly. Friday at 12, so, you know, that's something that I told the players, hey, look, you know, I got to take some of that. You know, so it's been a lot of games here in the last 7 or 8 days, and we lost to a good team tonight. They were really good tonight, you know, defensively, just the way they've done about taking things away. So again, if you can't overreact, I mean, you know, it's got 32 of these games, and so you get back to work, figure out how you're going to improve your team, you know, get the guys to understand what it's going to take for us to be successful, and you work on those things.
Coach, you guys shot around 33% tonight. Do you kind of attribute that more to South Carolina's defense and how they were, you know, defending you, or is it just a bad shoot night?
Yeah, combination. You know, I think that, I mean, you're talking about a team that is shooting a really good percentage from 2 and 3. We'll be top 5 in the ACC in three-point shooting. You know, so for us to have a bad shooting night, obviously the defense has to do something with that. I think it's a combination. We haven't had a team to be that disruptive, and so they got us in the late clock a lot. And I thought that our players, you know, we ended up going one-on-one a lot, taking tough shots instead of working the ball to the weak side and get to the next thing. They blew us out of some of our actions and made us one-on-one players.
Mike,
Coach, what does it say about your team? You're down big, but late in the game, John made a basket. All you guys were still engaged in cheering on him.
You know, I mean, I was happy for the guys. You know, I had 4 freshmen out there for like 7 minutes in the second half. So at that point, you know, you're down 18-19. What you want to do is try to continue to chip into the league and then try to help guys grow up and get some experience. You know, so you're doing both. You're kind of doing a combination of both. And I thought that group that was in, they kept fighting, they kept competing. Because that score could have easily went, you know, you're down 17 and a half, you'd have lost by 35 points. So to show the character and compete and stay with it, I was proud of that. You know, we got to build on it. We need to do that for more 40 minutes instead of a 7-minute segment.
Coach, more bigger picture, obviously tonight, students back on campus, you're playing an SEC game, big-time college basketball. About 4 minutes left, there's a Gamecocks chant taking over the arena, and there wasn't a lot of fans at the game tonight. What do you do to change that? What do you guys need to do to make this program matter more, again, locally and pack the house with,
Right.
you know, super fans?
I mean, to do what we always been doing, just working really hard to help the program take the next steps. You know, that's what we've been doing. It's been a crawl. It hasn't been a flight to the top. It's been a climb. And so, no helicopter has come down and got us in none of these years since I've been here. You had to fight, scratch, claw. You know, so it's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears going to that. So we have been moving in the right direction, and we got to continue to try to do that. Obviously the students, they make a huge difference. The local community make a huge difference. So the more we can get people in the gym, and pull for their team. This team number 92 in terms of, teams that have played a full season at Division I at Boston College. So, we need them. We need the fans there. They give us a great joy and energy. So I hope that they will continue to come and support us, because I know they'll make a huge difference.
Yeah, we'll go to Brandon, and then we'll take questions from Zoom.
More than halfway through the first half, you guys were, South Carolina was in the bonus. Like, how do you stay out of foul trouble? Is that sort of?
I thought early we had a couple uncharacteristic fouls in the first 3 or 4 minutes of the game. So sometimes you don't think those fouls hurt you. But when you look at the scoreboard with 9 minutes to go and they're shooting free throws, you just gotta be more sound, gotta be more, disciplined, showing your hands. Again, that's about all you can do, but that's been an issue for us. We have been fouling, but we've also got fouled and we got to the free throw line a lot, so it's balanced out. Tonight we didn't get to the free throw line as much, so it didn't balance out as much.
All right, we'll go to questions from Zoom.
Thank you, Coach. Although the shots weren't falling, you guys had a lot of close looks right near the basket. How do you keep the guys staying positive about that, seeing as that they were great looks, they just didn't fall?
Yeah, you just gotta keep attacking the basket and playing with toughness at the rim. They were long, but we were there a lot, and so I think when we watch film, we'll see, a lot of points we left out on the table, but we can't get it back down. We just gotta, discuss it, talk about it, continue to work on development, skill development, and hope to do better the next time around.
All right, go to Jack.
Coach, between the Dartmouth game last game and tonight, that marks 2 straight games where the opponents shot over 50% from 3 against you guys. Why do you think that's the case, and what do you do to improve bring your defense and limit those open?
Well, yeah, I mean, that's a great question. Obviously, you take those 2 games out, they've been getting 4. So we've done a great job of taking away threes. The last 2 opponents, we haven't. I think there's more communication on this ball screens. Making sure we switch when we're supposed to switch, making sure we're in coverage when we're supposed to be in coverage, whether that's 2 to the ball or just a quick switch. We gotta communicate better. Communication is the key to everything for us right now. With a lot of guys, really trying to trust each other. So we gotta over-communicate and make sure that we're on the same page and on one accord. And that's gonna be a pursuit for us, to get a group to do that, specifically with so many new guys.
All right, any last questions on Zoom?
You mentioned how South Carolina had taken away so much in the first half from you, in particular with the backcourt. Just what did South Carolina do to impact them? And then in the second half, how did that kind of switch where your backcourt started to get some production going, but the front court started to slip out a bit?
Yeah, I mean, I thought the first half was very uncharacteristic. A lot of positives for what the scheme that South Carolina was doing. So it was very uncharacteristic, the way we were playing. We scored the ball really well all year. And so, but then the second half, we simplified a little bit, and we tried to get the guards to get downhill more, attack the paint more, and then make decisions once they got there. So, I think the game loosened up. They shocked our system the first 6 minutes of the game. The game loosened up, and we were a lot better in the second half.
We'll go last one to Earl.
More of the generality. South Carolina is obviously home state for you, and SEC, ACC challenge is more of a newer thing. But culturally in basketball, just what does this kind of bring, being able to put BC against a team like South Carolina, and also the way realignment has kind of impacted it as well?
I mean, obviously it's an ACC, SEC challenge. 90% of those guys on that team, I know them all, been knowing them since 9th and 10th grade. A lot of them Carolina kids. But the one thing that they did, they kept them guys. You know, they had about 7 or 8 guys returns. So they were way ahead of us tonight, and it showed.
Looking at these first couple weeks of the season as a whole, offensively, do you sort of like where you're at in terms of shot selection and shot creation?
Yeah, you know, we've been a lot better. Like I said, we've been shooting the ball well. Our 3-point percentage prior to the 2 games, you know, was one of the top. You know, we shoot it good. We got a lot of guys making it. We shoot a good percentage. You know, so again, I don't want to really overreact and get too high and get too low because it's never as good or bad as what you think it is. You know, but there's some things we got to correct. There's some things we got to correct to be better. You know, and I think that these guys have enough character and enough willingness to do it. But it's going to take some time.
All right, thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Coach.
appreciate it, guys.